Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a review on probably my second favorite Hammond collection figure, the Giganotosaurus. But anyways, let's jump into this review. Anyways, first thing, starting off with the packaging, we have a very nice render of the figure on the side of the box. Then we have the regular Hammond collection packaging, Giganotosaurus. On this side, you can see Giganotosaurus on the side of it. Looks pretty cool, got the Dominion logo. On the back, this is probably like my favorite back since it just looks, the render of the Giganotosaurus just looks so good on the back. And yeah, you can see some more renders over here. Pretty good. Moving on to the side, Hammond collection logo, and yeah, again, glass window over here so we can actually see the figure. But yeah, let's take this guy out of the packaging, which I'm just going to gently peel the tape since there are 3 pieces of tape holding this figure in its box, or at least holding the box shut. You can just get this last one down here. That should be good enough so that we can just open this up and take the figure out. Which, of course, there's the sliding part back here. You can see slide the figure out, and I already took this guy out of the box, so that's why a little bit messed up. And that shows that you can put this figure back in the box and the tail completely disassembled. Drop the segment of the tail, but the figure completely can be disassembled enough that you can put it back into the packaging. So yeah, this guy actually has 3 parts. So first we have this part of the tail. I'm just going to take a closer look at it right here. I'm going to actually move a little bit closer, but yeah, you can see really good detailing. You can already see what we're about to get into. Then we have this piece of the tail, which is the rubber part, and this actually works really well, the rubber articulation on this figure. So yeah, anyways, you're just going to want to clip this part into here. Again, make sure these sides match up correctly. So yeah, that clips in. And they come apart pretty easily enough. They're not like super duper easy that they're just going to pop apart, but enough that it's very much possible if you need to. And then this part clips onto the rest of the body, which again, just if you're putting a lot of pressure on it and it still doesn't go in, you probably have the shape in wrong. But then just try rotating a little bit to get it to go in the correct way. Because, let me see if I can get this in right. I think I'm putting it in wrong, actually. Okay, there you go. Flipped in really easily. And man, this thing is massive. Biggest Hammond collection figure I own, definitely. Now let me just move the camera so we can see this whole figure. So yeah, this figure is absolutely massive. And since I have it in a good position right now, I'm actually going to do the size comparison at the beginning of the video. Most people save it to the end, and usually even I save it for the end. But I'm going to do it first since I just kind of want to do it now since it's already out in this position. So, first thing, this figure measures in at, let me see, I'm actually going to need to stand up to measure this guy. Measures in at about 30 inches long. And then I'm going to measure this in 3 places for the height. Measures in at about 9.5 above the hip at the tallest point, which is this top spike. It measures in at also a little bit over 9.5. Then at the top of the head, measures in at about 8 inches tall. So, yeah. Very tall figure and very long figure. Here's it first compared to the Hammond collection T-Rex, which, yeah, I don't even know. If I were to get this guy about as big as it goes, yeah, the Rex is dwarfed by this thing slightly. Rexy is much smaller than this thing, especially since I'm looking at it at a quite slightly different angle, which I think I can probably show off a little bit better if I raise the camera. Yeah, the Giganotosaurus is a bit taller and quite a bit longer as well. So yeah, this figure is absolutely massive compared to the T-Rex. And if I get them side by side like this, if I can. In fact, the Giganotosaurus is so long that I can't even really get a good size comparison. Also, the legs on this guy is a little bit bigger than the Rex, so yeah. Anyways, Giga and Rex, those are the 2 figures compared to each other. Giganotosaurus is much larger. Now let me just reset it. So here is it compared to the Jurassic World Jurassic World Hammond collection Therizinosaurus, which is dwarfed by this thing. Absolutely massive figure this Giganotosaurus is. And yeah, now here's it compared to a Velociraptor, which would be smushed by this thing. And a human figure, which, yeah, this Giga is absolutely massive. So big that I'm tempted to compare it to the Dreadnoughtus. You know what? Why not? Let me compare it to the Dreadnoughtus. Okay, the Giganotosaurus is still dwarfed by the Dreadnoughtus, but the Dreadnoughtus does give it a good run for its money. well, the Giga gives the Dreadnoughtus a good run for its money. It's still an absolutely massive figure, especially even compared to the Dreadnoughtus. But anyways, let's actually take a closer look at this figure. So, yeah, taking a closer look at the head, which I'm going to fix the lighting a little bit, since it's not horrible, but it definitely could be a bit better. You can see the head of this thing, which is absolutely massive. And you can see it has really sharp teeth. Well, rubbery, but sharp teeth. Mouth can open. Has a really nice paint job in the... Well, there's not really any paint in the mouth, but the colorations are really nice. And apparently it reuses the same tongue as the Rex, though the Giganotosaurus does have a different tongue, so I don't know why. But anyways, tongue has articulation. And then cheeks are rubbery. Teeth are also rubbery. So, yeah. Another thing weird I kind of noticed about this figure is that since, again, the upper and lower jaw articulate, you kind of have to, like, press one of the pieces of the jaw into the other instead of just closing them. Kind of weird. Like, sometimes I'll try to close and it just doesn't close all the way until I shove one part of the jaw into the other part. So, yeah. Moving down, we have a lot of detailing, good coloration, matching the Giganotosaurus from the film almost perfectly. And then, also, when it comes to articulation, has a joint right here to go up and down, and actually it can go side to side mainly, but does not swivel, actually. Then we have one at the base of the neck, which goes up and down. More osteoderm, like the Dominion Giga has. Actually has oversized arms, I believe, and has point of articulation here. Point of articulation at the elbows, which goes up and down. And also can swivel and stuff. Again, you can give it broken wrist, which the Giga in the film actually has the correct wrist. And then also the arms go outwards and inwards and forwards and backwards, of course. So yeah, moving down the body, no torso articulation, though I don't think any Hammond collection figure really has torso articulation. But then we also have at the hips, legs go backwards, forwards, and outwards and inwards. Then we also have knee articulation, forwards and backwards. I don't know, shin articulation, I guess, like here. And then we also have foot/ankle articulation, goes backwards and forwards. And it actually has painted claws. All of the claws on this thing are painted, which I forgot to mention in my review of the Therizinosaurus. The dew claw is not painted for some reason. But on the Giganotosaurus, the dew claw is painted, which is really nice down here. Anyways, base of the tail has a large, massive joint, massive ball joint. Then we move it down to this part of the tail, which I actually really like the articulation here, because it is just a full rubber tail with a wire, and it articulates so well, especially compared to the Rex, which I noticed with the T-Rex. The rubber tail articulation kind of sucks actually on that figure, but it works really well on this Giganotosaurus. You can even use it as like a third leg almost. Bends down so well, and side to side, very nicely. So yeah. Also, we can scoot this back. Again, probably going to be about the same on the other side. Getting really close to the camera, but about the same on the other side. Nothing too crazy, but looks amazing. Has the glass eyes again, which, why did Mattel make the decision to put it on all figures? The few figures that they did have it on before, no one really liked the glass eye on them, and they also just didn't work very well. So Mattel decided to put them on every figure, especially figures that have smaller eyes, which makes it harder for light to get in, which makes them even worse. Why did Mattel decide to do that? Even though this is a bigger figure, so the glass eye works a little bit better, it still kind of sucks. Why, Mattel, did you do this? Most people just paint over the eyes anyways. But yeah. Anyways, this figure is really nice. Definitely would recommend it. Man, this is probably my second favorite Hammond collection figure, behind the Irritator, which I still regret not being able to get a hold of. But anyways, again, this figure is absolutely magnificent. Paint job, perfect. Everything. If you're a fan of the Dominion Giganotosaurus, which I'm not a crazy fan of, because, I mean, of course, it doesn't really look like a Giganotosaurus. And saying that, I don't know why I like this figure so much. And I've grown kind of attached to the Dominion design. At least I've gotten used to it now that I actually kind of do like it. And, yeah. Not a good Giganotosaurus design, but this is definitely a good figure of that design, of this animal. So, yeah, definitely 100% would recommend to get it. Okay, I forgot to throw this into my Hammond collection Giganotosaurus review, but man, the balancing on this thing is insane. It's able to hold this position, and it's not being held up by the tail. It's literally just being held up by this foot. The other foot's off the ground. Everything is just balancing at the angle. Don't mind all the extra stuff over there. But it's able to balance at an angle extremely well, and it's just crazy how well this thing can balance. Also, the articulation, you can get a pretty cool scene. Looks pretty cool in my opinion. This is just crazy. Definitely a 10 out of 10 figure. I don't know when I'm going to put this into the review. I may have not even given my opinion yet. I just kind of spoiled it. But anyways, I definitely recommend this figure. It's really cool that you can just completely balance in the air on one foot. Some of the older figures would never be able to do this, of the smaller ones, let alone this one being, I believe, the second largest Hammond collection figure behind the Brachiosaurus, being able to achieve something like this. Hand can go straight under. Also can go under the tail, though it's kind of a tighter squeeze. But yeah, that is insane that it's able to do this much articulation. Okay, also kind of crazy, forgot to put this in as well. Don't mind the mess of my shelf, but pretty much I just wanted to show that this thing sizes up greatly with the Dreadnoughtus figure. So you can have it like hunting and biting at the Dreadnoughtus' neck, or like the top of its back. Honestly, that'd be really cool. But yeah, again, this is a great figure. Definitely recommend it. And for my final thoughts, which I kind of just gave. So yeah, generally I think that this is definitely my second favorite Hammond collection figure, and I 100% would recommend picking it up. It looks amazing, especially if you're a fan of the Dominion Giganotosaurus. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Goodbye.